Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about what's the difference between primitive type and reference type. So primitive. So let's say I initialize a primitive type variable. So let's say it's integer and int x is equals to 2. So what's going to happen in the main memory is there's it's divided into lines, right? So each line can store a specific value. So and each line will be given a label, and the label is the label that you gave or the name that you give to the variable. So let's say this is x, and the value stored here is 2. And let's say you want to print the x into the console. So what will happen here is it will go to x, take the value stored here, and then it will print it. Simple. So, but let's say it's a reference type. A reference type is a bit different. One of the example of reference type is string. So I'll say string y is equals to Josh. So let's say you wanna print y, right? The process is a bit different in the main memory because let's say there is a line which is given the label y. So y here, instead of storing Josh, it will store the address of another line. So let's say the address of this line is 24h or x decimal. So this is the address of this line. Don't worry about the h, but it's just this is the address. So instead of storing Josh, it will store 24h, and here the Josh will be stored. So when you want to print y, right, it will go to y, it will look at the address, and it will search for the address, and then it will take the value stored in that address, and then it will print it. And literally that is all the differences between primitive and reference. So anything except an int, long, boolean, double, float, and char all are considered reference. So starting from string and all the class name, class variable, everything, array list, everything is considered reference. So let me give you an example in NetBeans. So a bit of a sneak peek. Um, you can see whether two variables have the same value or not by using two equal sign. So what am I talking about here? So let's say if I put x double equal sign and then y, the value stored in z is true because it will see if x and y is same. Since it's same, the z will store true. So if you try to print z, true will be printed there. So but it's quite different with reference type. Okay, another thing, whenever you wanna create a reference type variable, right, you use a keyword new. And I know until now I've only teach you that you can create a string by just writing string and a is equals to George, something like that. there's another way of creating creating a string variable, and that is you put string and you give the name, and then instead of giving the value you tell new, and then type string again and then give the value. So this is kind of like another way to create a string variable. This is the way that you will use to create any objects, a new object in any class. So if this is the way to create an object in any class, then a string is considered a class too. There is a class in this JDK called string, and in that class string you can create a new object called a, and that a will store the value Josh. I know it's kind of new, all this object class and everything, right? But let's just say there's a okay, now just understand that there's a string variable and the name is a and stores Josh. And let's create another string. So string b equals new string and Josh 2. Let's say I print out a is equals to, no, a is it same as b. So if I try to print or run, sorry, I will get false. Even though both are the same value, you will get false. Why? Well, let's try to print a. What do you think will be printed? Do you think Josh will be printed? Yes. If you try to print b, still Josh will be printed. Why? Because there is a method in string class called toString method, and that method will be called when you try to print that variable. So as I've already told you before, if the variable won't store the Josh value, right? This variable will not store Josh. It will just store the address of another line that store Josh. So why isn't it not printing the address, and instead it is printing Josh? Well, that's because of this method called toString method. Okay, I'm getting way ahead of way ahead. So don't worry about all of this. So I'm just trying to show you that you, if you try to print if a is equals to b, you will get false. Well, that's because the a is actually storing the address of Josh, and b is actually storing address of Josh 2, but in another place. So it's kind of something like this. So string x equals to new string Josh, the string y new string Josh. So here a lot of lines, right? So here is x and here is y. So here is storing an address maybe of this 24H, and address of this maybe 25H. So x is storing 24H and y is storing 25H, and here the values are same. So Josh. So if you tell is x is equals to y, consider you telling that is 24H is equals to 25H. Well, obviously no, both are different address. 24h is not same as 25h, so that's why it will be false. Even though the values stored in this address are same, it's just comparing the value of this address. So that's why you got false instead of true. So it's getting too long, but let me give you another example where instead of using the new keyword, right, I just use string a. Will it be the same? Let's see. String a b Josh, string b is equal to Josh, and then try to print it, and a is equals to b. Okay, let's see, is it true or false? It's true. Well, why is that? So Java has a lot of functions that it's doing implicitly. So behind the scene, it's kind of doing a lot of things. So when you told that string x is equal to Josh and string y is equal to Josh, you didn't use the word keyword, right? So the Java does will think that, so you don't really have to create a new space. It's kind of like that. So you don't really have to create new space. So what you will just do is it will create two lines where x and y, right? And let's say this is 24h and this is Josh. This is Josh. So here, when you first initialize this, the x will store 24h. And when you come to this, right, to save memory, because here y is kind of like taking up another line, right? So instead of saving memory, and you didn't use new keyword, so the Java will think that, so you don't really have to create a new one. So what you will see, it will loop the main memory and you will see, are there any address that's holding this Josh? Well, yes, 24h is holding Josh, so it will store 24h. In this case, when you tell x is same as y, it's still comparing the address only. It's not comparing Josh. It's still comparing the address. But 24h is same as 24h, right? So that's why it's true. So these are some things that you need to know about reference and primitive type. And that's all. That's all in this video. So thank you.